Imagine holding in your hand what looks like just an old, dirty, worn-out Washington quarter, something most people wouldn't even bother to pick up if they saw it lying on the sidewalk. But what if I told you that little coin could secretly be hiding a value so massive it could change your life in an instant? We're not talking about a few $100s. No, I mean a figure so shocking, so unbelievably high, that it transforms this so-called ordinary quarter into a treasure chest locked inside a tiny piece of silver and copper. And today, right here, I'm going to reveal to you not one, not two, but five ultra-rare Washington quarters that are rocking the auction houses of America right now. These are the kinds of coins that collectors fight for, the kinds of coins that disappear into vaults the moment they are sold. You will see the hidden history, the shocking rarity, and yes, the jaw-dropping values of these coins. So stay with me to the very end, because the deeper we go into this list, the more shocking it gets. And believe me, when you hear the actual price of these coins, you will never look at pocket change the same way again. Welcome back to U.S. Coins Worth Secrets, your most trusted and faithful source for daily coin treasures, straight from the vaults of the U.S. Market. Our very first coin might surprise you because at first glance it doesn't look special at all. In fact, most people who stumble across it in a drawer, an attic box, or an old coin jar don't even realize what they are holding. But behind its dirty, worn, and almost forgotten look lies one of the most powerful secrets in Washington Quarter history. This coin was minted back in 1942, a time when the entire world was at war. America was fully engaged in World War II, and every factory, every industry, even every mint, was focused on efficiency, production, and national strength. Washington quarters of this era were struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, a composition that gave them both durability and value. But here's the key: this particular quarter we're talking about was struck without a mint mark. Now, at that time, the absence of a mint mark indicated it came straight out of the Philadelphia Mint. Millions of these coins were made, yes, but almost all of them were quickly circulated into everyday life. They passed through the hands of soldiers' families, grocery clerks, factory workers, everyday Americans using them to buy food and war stamps. Nobody thought of putting them aside as treasures back then. But what makes this specific coin stand out is not just its age, not just its silver content, but its condition and its survival. Most 1942 Washington quarters you'll see today are either heavily worn, polished down, or cleaned by collectors who didn't know better. Yet the ones that have survived an untouched condition, even dirty and naturally aged, tell a story that collectors crave: authenticity. The absence of the mint mark, combined with its genuine old, dirty appearance, actually makes it more desirable. That's because untouched, natural coins carry a kind of raw history that artificially cleaned coins never will. When collectors see this, they see proof that the coin traveled through time, untouched by modern hands, carrying whispers of history right into today's market. And here's where things get really intense. Very few of these 1942 no mint mark quarters have survived in this kind of original, naturally aged condition. Most of them were either lost to the melting pots when silver was being repurposed, or they were simply destroyed by circulation. That means today, serious collectors are on a hunt, an all-out treasure hunt, for specimens exactly like this. The demand is sky high because finding one is like striking silver in a sea of ordinary coins. Collectors know how few exist. They know how auctions explode the moment one appears. And they know the market value is climbing higher every single year. So now the moment you have been waiting for: what is the current value of this 1942 no mint mark Washington quarter in its original dirty and naturally aged condition? Brace yourself, because this isn't just pocket change. This isn't just a collectible. This is a fortune locked in a coin. At today's market, this coin is commanding an astonishing $95,000. Yes, $95,000. And let me tell you, that is not a fantasy number. That is a living, breathing auction result happening right now in today's marketplace. The price is so high, it's almost like discovering a hidden treasure chest that was disguised as an ordinary coin all along. And here's the truth: the market value of this coin is increasing day by day. Wait just a little longer, and you may see it skyrocket even higher. Don't take this as fiction. I'm telling you the truth. This coin is nothing short of a treasure in your hand. So if you are a collector, what do you need to know? First, never underestimate a coin just because it looks dirty, worn, or ordinary. Sometimes the true giants hide in plain sight. Second, always look closely at the mint marks or the lack of them. And finally, patience is key. If you have a 1942 Washington quarter with no mint mark, don't rush to clean it, don't polish it. Keep it as it is. Its raw, natural condition is what gives it this extraordinary power in the market. The 1942 Washington quarter without a mint mark is not just a coin, it's a time machine, a survivor, and a treasure chest rolled into one. With a value soaring as high as $95,000, it proves beyond doubt that even the simplest looking coin can hold the power of a fortune. And this is only the beginning, because the next coins on this list are going to push the limits of rarity and value even further. Stick with me, because what's coming next is even more unbelievable. If you thought the 1942 quarter was shocking, just wait, because our next coin takes us into an era that almost every American today still remembers. This coin isn't from the war years. It's from the 1970s, a time of rock music, cultural revolutions, and a country shifting into a whole new identity. And buried in the middle of that decade came one of the most mysterious and breathtaking Washington quarters ever struck. And guess what? Most people have no idea it even exists. The year was 1970. America had just seen the Apollo moon landings a year earlier. The Vietnam War was raging. And at home, the U.S. Mint was producing Washington quarters in massive numbers. But here's where it gets fascinating. This particular 1970 quarter came out of the Philadelphia Mint, which means it carries no mint mark. At the time, that didn't seem unusual. The Philadelphia Mint was known for striking coins without a mint mark. Millions were released into circulation. But the survival of high-quality coins from this year, especially in their original, natural state, is shockingly rare. And the one we are looking at now isn't just rare, it is beautiful. This quarter stands apart immediately because of its stunning look. Unlike the worn-down pieces that have been through vending machines, laundromats, and decades of daily life, this one still retains a clean, sharp detail that makes collectors take notice. And then there's the unique characteristic that pushes it into the realm of treasure, the gray spotting on its front. Now, some people might glance at that and think it is a flaw, but seasoned collectors know better. Those natural gray spots are a sign of the coin's untouched originality, a kind of natural fingerprint of history. They prove the coin hasn't been tampered with, polished, or stripped of its authentic surface. Instead, it wears its age like a badge of honor. That combination of beauty, preservation, and uniqueness makes this 1970 quarter not just desirable, but absolutely irresistible to serious collectors. And now let's talk rarity. While millions of 1970 quarters were made, almost all of them were spent, circulated, and worn out. The few that survived in very fine or higher condition, especially with those natural signs of age like the gray spotting, have become the holy grail of 1970s coinage. Collectors know how scarce they are. And when one hits the auction block, demand skyrockets. The bidding is fierce because everyone knows this isn't just another piece of 1970 change. It's one of the rarest survivors of the era. Every year, the numbers of available specimens shrink as more coins get locked away into private collections and estates. That makes every remaining coin even more valuable and more highly sought after. The market isn't just strong, it's on fire. And now the truth that you have been waiting for. How much is this? 1970, no mint. Mark Washington quarter with its beautiful, naturally aged appearance and rare gray spotting really worth today? Brace yourself, because we're talking about a staggering $65,000 in today's auction market. Yes, $65,000 for a single quarter. Let that sink in. This is not a fantasy. This is happening right now. These coins are commanding life-changing sums of money at auction, and the values are climbing every single year. Wait a little longer, and you might just see this very coin double in worth. Do not take this as an exaggeration. I'm telling you the truth. Holding this coin is like holding a secret treasure chest in the palm of your hand. It's the kind of find that can make you feel like you've struck silver and gold all at once. So what should you, as a collector, be looking out for? Number 1, pay attention to the mint mark or the absence of it. A Philadelphia 1970 quarter without a mint mark can easily blend into ordinary change, but its value is anything but ordinary. Number 2, don't dismiss coins with natural toning or gray spots. What looks like a blemish to the untrained eye is often proof of authenticity and originality. And number 3, if you ever come across one of these in very fine condition or better, protect it. Store it properly, keep it safe, and never clean it. Cleaning it would destroy its character and erase its chance of commanding treasure-like prices. The 1970 Washington Quarter without a mint mark is living proof that treasure doesn't always shine the brightest. It sometimes wears the soft gray tones of age and history. With an auction value of $65,000, this coin transforms from a piece of everyday currency into a breathtaking treasure trove of wealth and history. And we're only just getting started. Because the deeper we go into this list, the rarer, the more valuable, and the more shocking the coins become. Stick around because the next coin will raise the stakes even higher. We've already seen 2 quarters that left jaws on the floor, but now we step into a coin that carries not only monetary value, but also a powerful piece of American history. This next treasure isn't just about rarity, it's about celebration. And yet, hidden beneath its festive origin lies a coin so valuable, so breathtaking, that collectors today are willing to spend a fortune to own it. I'm talking about the iconic 1976 Washington Quarter, with a twist that transforms it into a treasure worth more than most people could ever imagine. The year was 1976, the Bicentennial year of the United States of America. The entire country was in celebration mode. 200 years since the Declaration of Independence, a milestone unlike any other in U.S. history. Fireworks lit the skies, parades rolled through the streets, and the U.S. Mint joined in the celebration by releasing special coinage that honored this monumental occasion. Now, quarters from 1976, often called bicentennial quarters, are among the most recognized coins in American coin collecting. Millions were struck, many bearing the letter D mint mark for Denver, where production was at full swing. But here's the secret. While millions were made, only a tiny handful survived, with the kind of unique beauty and authenticity that the coin I'm about to reveal carries today. This 1976 Washington Quarter with the D mint mark carries a look unlike any other. It's not shiny. It's not polished. Instead, it shows a beautiful old look, with tones of brown and black shading across its surfaces. And far from being a flaw, this aged, natural patina is exactly what makes it irresistible to collectors. These colors didn't come from artificial cleaning or chemicals. They came from history itself. Circulation, storage, and the natural passage of time have left their artistic mark. To a collector's eye, this coin is like an oil painting, rich with depth, character, and story. The coin may be circulated, yes, but that circulation is what gave it its voice, its authenticity, and ultimately its power. Now let's talk about rarity. Millions of bicentennial quarters exist, but almost all of them are either overly worn down, polished beyond recognition, or kept in average conditions. Finding a Denver Mint 1976 quarter that has not only survived, but also aged gracefully with natural brown and black shades is incredibly rare. Collectors are obsessed with coins that tell a story through their surfaces. And this coin tells the story of America's 200th birthday through its very condition. The fact that it is circulated doesn't hurt its value. In this case, it actually amplifies it. Why? Because it proves the coin lived in the hands of Americans during the bicentennial celebrations, a true piece of living history that you can hold. When one of these surfaces at auction, the competition is fierce. The value isn't just in the silver or in the minting, it's in the history, the scarcity, and the emotional connection to America's 200th birthday. Collectors pay top dollars because they know they may never see another like it. So how much is this circulated but breathtakingly beautiful 1976 D-Mint Washington Quarter worth in today's market? Hold on to your seat because the number is going to shock you. This coin with its rare condition, natural brown and black patina, and Denver Mint mark is commanding an auction value of $68,000 today. Yes, $68,000 for a single bicentennial quarter. This is not an exaggeration. This is real living market value. And the truth is, the demand for this coin grows every year. The bicentennial will never come again. The celebration it represents is frozen in time. And as fewer of these rare examples surface, the market value will only climb higher. Mark my words, wait for time, and you will see this treasure rise in worth. It is no less than a hidden fortune, disguised as a piece of everyday money. So what should collectors take away from this? Number 1, do not dismiss circulated coins. Sometimes the very wear, the very patina, the very history embedded in a circulated coin is what gives it life and value. Number 2, look closely at 1976 quarters with the D Mint mark. The Denver Mint coins are historically fascinating, and in the right condition, they can become treasures worth a fortune. And number 3, preserve originality. If you find a coin with natural tones of brown, black, or gray, resist the urge to clean it. Cleaning destroys history. Authenticity is where the value lies. The 1976 Washington Quarter with the Denver Mint mark is more than just a bicentennial souvenir. It's a treasure chest of history, rarity, and fortune all in one. With a jaw-dropping auction value of $68,000, this coin proves that sometimes the most unassuming piece of pocket change can hold the power of a priceless artifact. And believe me, if you think this is incredible, the coins still to come will leave you absolutely stunned. Because the deeper we go, the bigger the treasures become. So stay with me. You won't want to miss what's next. We've traveled through the 1940s, the 1970s, and the nation's bicentennial celebration. But now, my friends, we step into a year that most people would never expect to produce a quarter worth a life-changing fortune. Because our fourth coin doesn't come from the distant past, it comes from the late 1980s. And yet this coin, hiding in plain sight with a simple P Mint mark, is one of the most underestimated and shockingly valuable treasures ever struck in modern U.S. History. The year was 1987. The Cold War was still alive, Ronald Reagan was president, and America was racing toward the end of one of its most transformative decades. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia was producing millions of Washington quarters to fuel the growing economy. But hidden within those millions was a small fraction of coins that defied the odds. Coins struck with the P Mint mark, representing the Philadelphia Mint, that survived not just in circulation but in conditions that caught the attention of collectors decades later. The Washington Quarter by 1987 was no longer made of silver, but rather a clad composition of copper and nickel. At first glance, that might seem ordinary. But the reality is this: rarity isn't always about precious metals. It's about survival. It's about condition. And it's about the stories coins carry across time. This particular 1987 quarter stands out because of its fine condition. Unlike the countless worn-down examples from laundromats, payphones, and soda machines, this coin has managed to hold on to its design, its luster, and its dignity. The sharpness of its detail, combined with the Philadelphia P Mint mark, makes it a prime target for collectors who understand just how unusual this survival is. Every scratch, every mark on its surface is a testament to its journey. But despite that, it remains an exceptional survivor from an era when nobody thought to save quarters for the future. And that's what makes it special. Most 1987 coins were simply ignored. They were too new, too ordinary. And yet, here we are, staring at one of the most valuable pieces of modern American coinage. Now let's talk about rarity. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions of coins in 1987, but the vast majority were worn out beyond recognition or simply lost to time. Only a handful remain in collectible condition that makes serious numismatists pay attention. And when you combine that scarcity with the unexpected year 1987, a year that nobody assumes holds great treasures, you create a frenzy of demand. Collectors love the thrill of the unexpected. They love coins that break the rules, that prove even a relatively modern piece can command a fortune. Auction houses have seen bidding wars over these coins, with prices climbing higher and higher as collectors compete to lock one away in their vaults. And with each passing year, fewer of these coins are found, which means the value only grows stronger. So now comes the moment you have been waiting for. What is the current value of this 1987 Washington Quarter with the Philadelphia P Mint mark in fine condition? Hold your breath, because the market today places this coin at an astonishing $50,000. Yes, $50,000 for a single quarter struck in the late 1980s. And let me be clear, this isn't fiction. This isn't exaggeration. This is reality in today's auction market. These coins are changing hands for treasure-level sums, and their values are climbing with each new sale. Think about that. Something most people would overlook as pocket change is, in truth, a treasure chest of wealth. And the market is proving it day after day. So what can collectors learn from this? First, never dismiss a coin simply because it is not silver or gold. Value is driven by rarity, condition, and demand, not just metal content. Second, always pay attention to mint marks. That small P from Philadelphia might look insignificant, but it can transform an ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure. And third, trust your instincts and protect what you find. If you ever come across one of these 1987 quarters in fine or better condition, don't hesitate. Store it properly, have it appraised, and recognize it for the treasure that it truly is. The 1987 Washington Quarter with the Philadelphia mint mark reminds us of one of the most powerful truths in numismatics. Treasure can come from anywhere, even from the years we least expect. With a current auction value of $50,000, this coin transforms from modern pocket change into a legendary piece of history. And we're not done yet, because the fifth and final coin on this list will take everything we have seen so far and push it to the absolute limit. If you thought these values were unbelievable, wait until you see what is coming next. And now we arrive at the final treasure on our list. The journey has already taken us from the 1940s to the bicentennial years, from unexpected rarities of the 1970s to the shocking survival of the late 1980s. But here in our fifth and final coin lies a story that proves the truth once and for all. Even in the most ordinary seeming years, unimaginable treasures can be hidden in plain sight. Because our last coin is the 1980 Washington Quarter with the Philadelphia P mint mark. A coin that may look simple, but carries a secret so powerful it can make collectors' hearts race. The year was 1980. America was stepping into a new decade, a decade of change, growth, and energy. Ronald Reagan was on the horizon, inflation was shaking the economy, and millions of everyday Americans were filling their pockets with quarters from the United States. Mint. The Philadelphia Mint was striking countless Washington quarters that year, each with the distinct P mint mark. To the public, they were nothing more than everyday change, good for vending machines, arcade games, and payphones. But hidden within those millions were coins that would one day shock the world. Because the truth is, survival, rarity, and demand can transform even the most ordinary year into a golden age for collectors. This particular 1980 quarter, carrying the Philadelphia mint mark, stands out because of its fine condition. Unlike the vast majority of its siblings that were beaten, scratched, and worn into anonymity, this one still bears clear detail, sharpness, and strength. Collectors know how rare that is. Most 1980 coins were used hard, passed from gas stations to grocery stores to arcades, and then discarded without thought. But this survivor, this finely preserved piece, represents a tiny fraction that escaped the relentless grind of circulation. And that's what makes it valuable. The very fact that it looks ordinary, yet hides extraordinary rarity, is what turns it into a treasure chest in disguise. Now let's look at the rarity. Millions of 1980 quarters still exist, yes, but the overwhelming majority are in poor condition, worn flat by decades of use. The fine condition survivors with the Philadelphia mint mark are vanishingly scarce. Collectors crave them because they are not just coins, they are proof of survival, proof of history, and proof that even modern-era coins can defy the odds. Auction houses have witnessed fierce battles over these coins. Every time one comes to market, the demand outpaces the supply. And with each year, as more coins disappear into long-term collections, the frenzy only intensifies. So how much is this 1980 Washington Quarter with the Philadelphia mint mark, preserved in fine condition, truly worth? Hold on tight, because this is where ordinary change becomes legendary treasure. The current auction market is placing this coin at an unbelievable $60,000. Yes, $60,000 for a quarter from 1980. This is no fiction. This is the real market right now. And the value is only climbing. Wait a little longer, and its worth will grow even more. Don't ever dismiss it as just a coin. This is a vault of wealth and history in the palm of your hand. So what should you do as a collector? First, never underestimate coins from the 1980s. Just because they are not silver does not mean they are not valuable. Second, pay close attention to mint marks. That tiny P can mean the difference between pocket change and a treasure worth tens of thousands. And third, always preserve condition. Even fine condition coins like this 1980 rarity can rise to fortune levels if kept safe, untouched, and properly stored. History rewards patience, and this coin proves it. The 1980 Washington Quarter with the Philadelphia mint mark teaches us one last unforgettable truth. Treasure doesn't always glitter. Sometimes it hides in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to recognize it. With a current auction value of $60,000, this coin takes its place among the greatest modern rarities ever discovered. And that brings us to the end of today's list of 5 ultra-rare and unbelievably valuable Washington quarters. From the war years of the 1940s to the unexpected treasures of the 1980s, these coins prove that history, rarity, and survival combine to create fortunes hidden in plain sight. My friends, coins like these remind us of one powerful fact. You might already be holding a treasure without even knowing it. Maybe it is in your pocket right now. Maybe it is in a jar on your shelf. Or maybe it is tucked away in an old drawer waiting to be discovered. That's why this channel, U.S. Coins Worth Secrets, is here to bring you the truth, the secrets, and the daily updates about treasures hiding in America's coins. You can trust us to always deliver faithful, fresh, and powerful insights because these stories are real, and the values are rising every single day. So don't miss out. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video so more treasure hunters like you can join the search. Because the next rare coin discovery could be the one that makes you rich overnight. This is not the end. It's only the beginning. Stay tuned because tomorrow's update might just reveal the next big treasure hiding in plain sight. Until then, keep your eyes open, your coins safe, and your passion alive. Treasure is out there, and together we will find it.